Hey, it's Robert Plank. I just literally stopped everything I was doing to check out this amazing new feature of ChatGPT, and it's called Canvas, where you can literally write a document, say a blog post, say an article, say an email right there, say a book right there in ChatGPT, and you can highlight a paragraph and say, hey, make changes to this as you write. It's the most amazing thing that I've ever seen, probably this month. They keep on innovating and adding some new stuff. And what we're looking at here, this is built into the latest and greatest ChatGPT. It's called Canvas. I saw this feature being talked about and advertised, so to speak, and I thought it was like a way for multiple people to collaborate. I was completely wrong. It's a way where you can write something or have it generate this, and you can apply changes to just one little paragraph, one little section. And before this, I was like copying and pasting so much text back and forth, and now you just can edit a document right in here. This is the most amazing thing I've ever seen. You can highlight this, right? And you can do a couple things. You can either give instructions in the chat window on the side, or what I've been doing as I've been playing around with this is mostly just highlighting this, and you can just tell ChatGPT to further expand on this and add 3 of Alaric's most impressive accomplishments. And I'll also do a quick blog post from scratch. So I just, hands off the page, right? I just said, here, add some of his accomplishments. And we can go here and say highlight this section, right? And we say, well, this is maybe a little too advanced. We can go to this bottom here and check out what we can do. We can add a final polish, which means like bold, and add headings, add bullet points. We can adjust the reading level. So right now it's in the middle. Let me move my head here. It's in the middle. We can say, I want to make this like really smart. Make it like college level, and it will apply just that one paragraph to college level readability in a few seconds. It just highlights and redoes it. And if you say, well, I think that's a little too advanced, you can highlight this and say reading level, bring it all the way down. Bring it down to kindergarten reading level. So that's really interesting, right? And you can apply this to the whole document or just this one section, and it's super fast. So you can just kind of use your judgment here and say, this one part, it's too much, it's too advanced. We can adjust the length. So, and I do this all the time on a repeat basis with my writing. I find myself typing the same stuff again and again. So say you want to elongate this, make it longer. See how that works? Or if I really want to reduce it, let's demo that. Adjust the length, make it super short. So this is so cool because many times when you're looking to get into more of the ChatGPT mindset, you're looking to be more of a manager, more of a supervisor, right? ChatGPT is your worker. You don't want to have to necessarily do a lot of work yourself. You just tell it how you want it to be adjusted. So let me show you what I was messing around playing with. So I have this podcast, right? And I recommend that if you have a podcast, if you create content, if you have YouTube videos, that you get them transcribed. You run them through Otter or Descript, and that you have a library, so to speak, of content that you can, especially now, use with ChatGPT. So let's say we're looking at this podcast with Elena Heidekeroff, okay? And we'll start a new chat, and we'll choose for a model ChatGPT with Canvas. But I found even though I say I want a Canvas, I have to sometimes tell it to create a canvas, right? So create a canvas to write a blog post based on this transcript. And then we paste in just this big old transcript from many years ago from a very smart person named Elena Heidekeroff about getting a TEDx talk. And I looks like the transcript, the auto transcript is incorrect. So let me fix that right off the bat, right? So her last name is Heidekeroff. So we'll say, her name is Elena Heidekeroff. Please adjust the blog post to reflect the correct name. So we'll do, oh geez. Okay, failed to edit. All right, that worked. And then it went through, and instead of having to, here we go, it just magically fixed it in all these places. And then what we might want to do is, because here, that's why ChatGPT is fun, when you apply your own thinking. And then, so now we can go to this other tool called Perplexity, and we can say, who is Elena Heidekeroff? And this does some Google searching for us and saves us time of kind of copying from some other areas. And here we go, copy. And then we might paste it in here, and we'll say, whoops, didn't want to. So we can either, we can either write it directly here in the article or talk into the chat window here. And then we'll say, integrate many of Elena's accomplishments into this article. And we pasted all kinds of stuff, and it will just pick and choose what makes sense. And so that way it's talking about her, but also about what we spoke in the conversation. And so we'll look at all this, and so then we'll say, okay, well, what's missing here? Well, I like this. So many times I'll look at the beginning and the end and the middle. So ever wonder what it takes to get on a TEDx stage, understanding TED, and who should give a TED Talk? And so let's say that right off the bat, we're not sure about what we want to change or improve with this. So we'll hover over here and do suggest edits. Even though it's ChatGPT generated it, but perhaps it kind of wasn't sure in some areas, and we might want to do our own writing or just kind of guide it in the right direction. So it added in these bubbles. Consider a brief mention, and consider rephrasing. And so I think we can just say apply all the edits. Oh, maybe do we have to do it one at a time? Maybe just apply one at a time. Or I can just maybe apply all the edits. Will that work? I think that did the trick. Okay. So then I've made the suggested edits to improve readability. So we look at this, right? And we might want to say, well, break up the paragraphs. I'll break this up into smaller paragraphs. And maybe we might say, like, make it more exciting. And maybe we'll say, add a bulleted list near the end of next steps, tasks. And we might say, and try to end with a joke, and maybe set something up at the beginning and call back to it at the end. So we'll just give it that list. Wondered. Failed to edit, huh? Marketing your TEDx talk, identifying. And so I still don't like some of these longer paragraphs, but we might look at some of these and say, okay, well, for this one, maybe we'll say just adjust, like keep it make it a little shorter. And then click the up arrow to apply those changes. I mean, this is so amazing. And then maybe we look at some of these. I think near the end there were some big ones, right? And I look at this and I'm like, well, I'm not sure where to break it up. So we'll just do this. We'll say ask ChatGPT, and we'll say break up these paragraphs a little more where it makes sense. And then once we get to that point, then we can add some final polish. And so I noticed, like, say we messed up our formatting a little bit, right? Like, say there was a list, and you know what we'll do is we'll say, after this explanation, provide a bulleted list of some kind. I'm not even sure what we would add. some key differences. So like, say I was like adjusting this and I'm like, oh no, I messed up the formatting. How do I get the formatting back? Where's the bullet point icon? There is none. What you can do is you can highlight this and then say add final polish. And another repetitive task I notice I do a lot with ChatGPT is reformatting, right? Fixing a bulleted list, bolding words, adding a heading. And here we go, it got our bullet points back. And so maybe we'll say, oh, it's still editing it. So I don't like this bulleted list, but I do want to, let's see. So we'll take this out, and then we'll say, work into this article a 6 to 10 step process on going from idea to TED Talk. And then I might say, work in 5 specific quotes from the original transcript. What's it doing? What's it changing? And I also noticed as this is processing that if we mess up, it has revisions, right? We can click on this and we can click on this show changes and we can see what it crossed out, what it added. Here are the essential steps. It took out all this. We can easily copy it out in one click, but then we can also kind of step back to previous versions if we didn't like what we ended up with. And then let's even say we got to the end, we could just highlight the whole thing and then adjust the reading level of the entire blog post. Like, that's interesting, right? So maybe we'll say, well, let's get this down to middle school reading level. I mean, I like that a lot better. So we kind of use the advanced super smart mode to get the good ideas. And then once we did, we said, okay, now make it very readable, very accessible. And I don't like the 6 to 10 step process. We'll adjust that manually, and you can just add your own writing right there in the mix. This is so amazing. So we did all of that. Oh man, and then, I mean, this is like a nice blog post. And then we might then say, add final polish. And then go through the whole thing and apply whatever adjusting, final formatting. I mean, I'm so impressed with this. And this is called ChatGPT Canvas. And it just kind of combines, if you use ChatGPT, you can talk with it back and forth, but it combines that with almost a Word document or a Google document. You can write down in there. You can get your paste. I'm a fan of pasting in a transcript and then going and putting my guest name into Perplexity to grab some additional backgrounds. And then you just kind of go back and forth and adjust it. So to recap the features here, you can have it suggest edits to you, shorten or lengthen the length, adjust reading level, add final polish, add your own writing in here, highlight this, ask ChatGPT to make a change and a specific block of text, or go into the chat window and kind of tell it to apply something to the entire document, or say remove this wherever you see it, or you say add this and I'm not sure where. Like we might say work in 3 interesting rhetorical questions to keep the reader paying attention and engaged. So I'm not sure what questions I would ask or where we would add them, and then it just adds these in, and then we can click on the clock symbol, and then it says, what if you could inspire people with your unique idea? Have you ever thought, could my idea be worth sharing? And then, so it added those 2. Just an amazing tool, ChatGPT. And the way to use it, you go to chatgpt.com, you switch the model at the top to Canvas, I find myself having to specify that I want to use a canvas, and you just say, like, write a canvas, give me a blog post about search engine optimization. Give me a canvas, write me a blog post, write me a LinkedIn post, and here's a big old YouTube transcript. Here's a podcast transcript. Here's some existing content I found online, and mix it up, change it up for me. ChatGPT with Canvas, an amazing tool. I stopped everything I was doing to play with it, and maybe now that you've seen it in use, maybe you yourself will stop what you're doing to play with it. Robert Plank, DFY Podcast, ChatGPT enthusiast. I hope that you're as excited about the possibilities that I am to use Canvas to write and edit and just do it seamlessly. I mean, what a time to be alive. Have a wonderful day.